Let's go for Doreen. You brought down the house and you didn't even start yet. What the heck? Okay, paparazzi. Doreen is an interdisciplinary designer and social entrepreneur. Her professional experience vastly covers strategic planning, service design, branding, and user experience. She initiated various projects encouraging multidisciplinary teamwork for social innovation, including public design intervention, Beirut, Desmeem, Rethinking Design through cross-cultural collaboration, and Beirut Design Week. She's currently co-founder, president of the board, and director of the MENA Design Research Center, and director of Beirut Design Week. Doreen is also an internationally acknowledged public speaker and mentor, and is a board member and advisor across leading international associations on design and innovation. I love her approach for design. I'm learning, I'm not non-design based, but you can learn a lot from what they do at MENA DRC with social design, collaborative design. Big round of applause for Doreen.
Thank you. That was a bit too much pressure. Okay. So if the format of this evening allowed videos, you would see that this is me dancing to ABBA's song Money, Money, Money in the office, because this is the first time I actually got a grant to do a project that I wanted to do for a very long time. And this was the Desmeem project that we did in 2012. So we got some funding from the Goethe Institute and the British Council, and finally I was kind of stepping away from my office job to finally start the organization that we know today. So right after that, that's when I started working with my co-founder also now and colleague who is Vroid, who you will see in the next picture. Hi! And this is us. So in 2012, we started this project, and we wanted to get a lot of designers to work together, and we wanted to get designers from different disciplines to work on social projects. And we got some of them from Europe and the US, and others from Lebanon. And this is us basically a team of two trying to do everything by ourselves. This was just after we put up all these posters to get people to come and apply for the project, and things were kind of starting to get kicking. So after this, we basically got about 40 designers to come and work with us to do the design projects. And we had 10 people that were coming in from Europe and the US. These are some of the people. Actually, one of the participants is also here, Karim Badra. Are you still around somewhere? He's just outside. Oh. Well, so we got together a group of really cool people, and the next thing that we needed to do is that we had our budget figured, we had our money, we were really going to do this. But of course, the main thing was how are we actually going to house all these, 10 designers that were coming from abroad. We took this event quite lightly. So we just made this little budget, and we said, okay, a couple of $1,000s, and they can stay here for like 3 months. Yeah, and we thought, sure, why not? Our money covers that. So this is us. This is exactly how the weeks before we started the project looked like, because we started going around to every single real estate agency, every single online portal, every single place we can to actually find housing for these people. We didn't want to put them all in like different hotels. We wanted them to be together. We had this idea of them, all of them living in some sort of, I don't know if any of you are old enough to know The Real Life on MTV, this real life show, or like Star Academy. So I had all these ideas that they were all going to live together and do this project together, but then it seemed almost impossible. Time came by, and then the people were going to come any minute. And finally, there's this one kind of really seedy real estate agent, and he says, okay, I'll give you this big flat. You keep it hush-hush. You don't say that there's 10 people that are living there, and you can actually stay there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And then finally, we get this okay. The people are coming the next minute, and the guy just drops a bomb on us, and he says, oh, by the way, it's going to cost $11,000. Yeah. So this is most of our funding just cut in half for this purpose. And the thing is, there's nothing else we could do. But at that time, this is like the first time we actually get our hands on any big money. So we have no idea what we're doing with it. And we were really desperate. So we said, okay, yeah, sure. And then we get to the end of the project, we're doing the exhibition, and we're mounting up stuff, and we're buying all this wood to do the exhibition and all of that. Much of this wood is actually now in Alt City. And then we realize, oh, fuck, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to get more money? We don't have any. None of us is a business person either. So we're like, could we come up with some, like, creative idea? Something we could do, like, to actually get some more money to do what we really wanted to do? And they were like, wait a minute, what about instead of just doing this one exhibition, like we put together something all together, like get a lot of people to be part of it, they pay us a small fee, and together we could create something. And that's how Beirut Design Week was born. So me and Vroid at the time basically made these letters. This is the beginning of a letter. It has the date on it, May 8, 2012. And we basically went around from door to door, from design studio to the next. Would you please want to be part of this Beirut Design Week? You can pay us a small fee, and you get to be part of something that's really growing. Eventually, somehow, we actually got convinced. We convinced about 54 people, 54 design studios to be part of it. And we kind of put this whole thing together. So during the next few weeks, we basically got the money, and we were able to put together our first really big exhibition. The turnout was really great. Lots of people came, and this was a project for the first time that was about social design. So people from all over came to see what design was about, and they were expecting really nice furniture. But we really got them thinking about how we were doing all this work with different NGOs, what design could mean, what kind of value it could have, and it was the beginning of something great, and I think we all felt it at the time. The turnout was great. We also had a lot of talks actually here at Alt City. Alt City was a partner of us at the time as well. And things kind of really started to feel like this was actually not such a bad thing. So even though we really did some bad money management, I suppose down the line, we did something really cool, and it just happened totally by mistake. So nowadays, Beirut Design Week is actually our bread and butter. It's the biggest thing that we do in the organization. It's one of the biggest, actually largest festivals currently that has to do with arts in the region. We have more than 25,000 people visiting it every year. Like, the participant number is great. We get more and more social media every year, and it's something that actually makes us feel like we're doing something good for the city, because we feel like, something that really was homegrown with a bunch of us that were kind of together as friends trying to build something, and now it's something that we feel belongs to the city, even to the country as well. And we're very proud to say that, since then, it's become some sort of a trendsetter, because now we get calls from Cairo, from Jordan, from lots of different cities around the world that ask us for support, ask us how to do it, and we obviously offer all of that. We're really happy that this is becoming some sort of a big community hub. And I suppose I don't really have like a moral, but I would definitely say that one thing that I've become more convinced of is that when I first started doing this, I was a designer. I'm still a designer. Even though I run this organization, I really did not have any idea about business. I remember the first time I was giving a talk here at Alt City, and somebody asked me, what is your business model? And I had never heard the word business model before, and I freaked out. But down the line, if you're passionate about it, and I think creativity really has a big value in what you do, and it will work out if your heart's in it. So that's it. That's my fuck up. Questions?
Andrew, over there.
Yes, Andrew. Don't make it too hard.
No, because you're a designer, I wanted to ask you, how do you think that design thinking is important in overcoming business challenges?
Well, for us who have been practicing design for a very long time now, I think design thinking is definitely a buzzword. But we do understand that for people that come from different disciplines, it's a terminology that needs to be used for them to kind of put the whole end result of design versus the process of design into, more of a sort of magnifying glass. So they put the focus on the process of how to do your research, how to analyze, how to ideate, how to prototype. And I think these are skills that are valuable to any person, It just so happens that design thinking is more of a buzzword, but it's definitely useful to all organizations and all businesses.
Yeah, I know you talked about it on Facebook. That's why I wanted to ask you.
We have
when you were starting Beirut Design Week, weren't you afraid from facing another fuck-ups over there, and you end up having more fuck-ups than you ever imagined?
Yeah, but I was already in too deep, you know? Like, I was at a point where I had like really very little to lose, you know? I was either gonna fuck up all the way or actually have some adventure come out of it, you know? And I mean, it wasn't just me on my own in the dark, you know? I had this whole group of people that we were working with, this huge team. I had people that also believed in the project. And sometimes that is enough to kind of just give you the push and say, you know, fuck it, you know? If things are going to go wrong, they've already gone really wrong, so if I can save it, it'll be good. If I can't, at least I would have learned something else.
More questions? Give us a taste of what's new in terms of programming or added things that are coming from the next year.
Oh, Jesse. So there's lots of cool things happening. This year, I think we become a little bit more and more independent every year, so we need to rely less on different kinds of partners. And we've got a cool new space this year, which is like an abandoned factory that hasn't been used since the Civil War in Karantina. And we want to use that space because we want to make people a little bit more aware of the value of that space, and it should be a dumpster for the whole city. So a lot of the really cool things are going to be happening there, so stay tuned. Thank you.